Hi everyone, it's Rax. Welcome to the Challenge Rift Guide. In my opinion, this is the hardest Challenge Rift ever in North America. Wudijo had the Challenge Rift, the infamous one on the European server that was super hard that barely anybody cleared. Now that one was harder than this one, but I think for North America, this is the hardest one. This is the first Challenge Rift I've ever done that I did not complete on my first try. I actually failed it the first time. I have the rank 1 time, which is 1 minute ahead of the timer only. A lot of the times I do these Challenge Rift, I beat it by 3, 4, sometimes even 5 minutes ahead of the time. I'm only 1 minute ahead of the time here, and it's in rank 1. It's tough. So a couple of hints I can give you about this Challenge Rift. If you don't like Challenge Rifts that are challenging, I would just skip this one. Another thing is it would be much easier to complete this Challenge Rift if you had a team. If you can get one friend or 2 or 3 friends to do it as a team, it's going to be easier. But if you're brave enough, try it in solo. And I'd love to know down in the comments below, A, did you clear it? And B, did you clear it on your first try? If you did it on your first try, you're a better player than I am. So this is a Helltooth Witch Doctor with Augils. We could look at everything, but there's nothing really to look at here. The problem with this build is it does no damage. It's actually just a challenge just to kill the monsters fast enough to get it done in time. The biggest hint I can give you is hold Grasp of the Dead down. I hold right click down and you see how it sprays it everywhere? That's what you want to do. You want to run to an elite and spray the Grasp of the Dead everywhere. Wall of Death is your other damage dealing skill, so I'm holding right click and just spamming 2. Stand on top of the elites and just try to nuke them down, and it takes forever. Use Puron NATO to gather them up. When you're near enemies, Soul Harvest, get your 5 stacks. Okay, this is going to give you increased movement speed and increased intelligence, going to make you deal more damage, and believe me, we need it. Spirit Walk, use it to move around, and if you're in danger, use it, and you can use Horrify to fear the monsters. So hold right click and spam 2. Gather them with Puron NATO, keep your Soul Harvest up, spam Horrify, and Spirit Walk through monsters. This one's tough. Let me take you into the rank 1 clear that I currently have, and I'll show you the path. Alright everyone, let's begin the journey down probably the hardest Challenge Rift I've ever seen in North America. When you get up here, you're going to want to activate your Soul Harvest, and I'm always holding right click to get my Grasp of Essence down everywhere. I move forward a bit to piss off the trash because it's going to take us so long to kill anything, so I want the trash to start walking over here. And then just go sit on the yellow and cast your Walls of Death and your Grasp of Essence as hard as you possibly can on him until he eventually dies. You can spam Horrify as well, and if you get jailed on an Arcane Beam, which happens a lot, use Spirit Walk to stay alive. Do not use your Spirit Walk until you're in a bad position because you're going to need it if you get into trouble. And after 1 hour of attacking this yellow, we finally kill him, and we're about even with the bar. The 3rd floor is by far the best. The problem is it just takes so long to get to the 3rd floor. So we just kill a little bit of trash, and pretty much we're looking for elites. We're looking for elites, or we're not going to make it in time. So we have the channeling here. I kill the trash first before grabbing it because I want it to be up as much as possible. And only after I've killed the trash, then do I take the channeling to move forward. Again, we have an elite here. Puron NATO them together. Again, I am always holding down right click my Grasp of Essence and spamming Wall of Death with the channeling. Spam it, spam it, spam it. And it just takes forever to kill an elite, but that's the only way we're going to have enough progression to get this down. He's finally dead. You can use Spirit Walk to not die to the Molten and move forward. Once again, tag everything, let everything know that you're there, and we're going to fight just up here. There are 2 elites, the yellow and the blue. See the blue on the right? Get their attention, get everyone's attention. Get the little porcupines down the ramp and get them to come up here. You can see with all this effort, I'm only even with my time right now. If we can stay even, by the time we get to the 3rd floor, we will have a chance to clear this. It's super dangerous. Use your Spirit Walk wisely. Remember, we have 2 elites here. We're not leaving until they're both dead. There's 1 more blue. There we go, and move forward. On the right side is a speed. Do not take the speed until you've killed the blue first. Kill the blue first, that way you can use the speed mostly for movement. So I'm just holding right click and spamming Wall of Death using Purionado to group them up. Grab the orbs, grab the speed, and we're going to floor 2. Have a little bit of a lead here, which is a miracle. And we move forward. You see all the little fetish sycophants. They're going to spawn when you use your abilities, so they'll just naturally be there. Dive into the middle here and go for the yellow. You got to pray that the yellow doesn't shield. If the yellow shields, it's going to waste a ton of your time. It's just RNG. Is it on your side or not? Again, holding right click and spamming Wall of Death until eventually one day this yellow will die. Again, if we can be even going into the 3rd floor or better, we'll be fine. Now in this room, we want to attack that yellow right there in the middle, but make sure, again, walk around to the sides, walk a little bit up, piss everything off, and then just attack the yellow. This is going to let all this trash walk in from all sides, and it will just naturally die when it gets close to the yellow, and then focus all of your attacks on the yellow. It's going to let you get a little bit extra progression, and believe me, we need it. So attack, 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 attack. It's going to die one of these days. The only saving grace about this build is it's a little bit tanky. 42 seconds ahead, I couldn't believe it. That's about as good as we're going to get. We can Purionado and kill a couple slashers here. Slashers are quite valuable. Before we go to the exit, and there is blue summoners, Purionado them together, spam, and hold down right click for the Grasp of Essence, spam Wall of Death, and we got to make the mad push to finish this challenge rift. What you will do on the Festering is exactly as follows. You'll go into the top left corner and grab the conduit, and then go down and you will see some archers. Go down to the archers. There they are. Purionado them together, spam right click, spam Wall of Death. Finally they will die. And then head to the right. There's a power pylon and a yellow together. Grab the power, nuke the yellow, and then it's time for the boss. Again, same thing as always. Spam right click, and then spam Wall of Death every time that it's up. And with the power pylon, we should be able to barely get this in time. So this was about a minute ahead of the time, so this was good enough for rank 1. So as long as you can clear this within about a minute of the time that I just showed, you will be able to get this down. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I make these guides every week. Come back next week, and I'll have it ready for you. Let me know in the comments how it went.